Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. It is time for a death battle. We got Spider-Man versus Deku, specifically Miles Morales Spider-Man versus Deku. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to be a really good fight. Of course, I'm going for my boy Miles to take the win here. You know, I have to on principle, and I just prefer him to Deku anyway. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. Uh, they are both incredibly powerful characters who have very similar mindsets, you know, very selfless, just want to be there to help the little guy, you know. But yeah, I'm going Miles winning this all the way. So yeah, let's find out who's actually going to win this. Link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out on your own. Let's run this up. This is going to be fun.
Miles Morales versus Izuku Midoriya.
Spider-Man versus Deku. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
All right, let's take this from the top again. This is Peter Parker. He was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for who knows how long, he's been the one and only Spider-Man.
A friendly neighbor to all of New York City. In a universe filled with super soldiers, hulking green Goliaths, and world-shattering gods, Spider-Man is there to look out for the little guy.
But in a multiverse of infinite possibilities, that doesn't always last forever. Like in Universe 1610, when NYC's Webhead got iced on the job.
The city was left without its protector. But fortunately, Peter wasn't the only one who got bit. Enter Miles Morales, a young teen from Brooklyn just trying to figure out his place in the world.
Yeah.
And now he had it thrust upon him.
The canon event to start all canon events. Now it was Miles' turn to be the hero the Big Apple needed.
Like Naruto,
and he had all the
DBZ,
usual spider kit to help
JoJo's
him out.
one.
This spider carries the Oz formula, a genetics-enhancing serum that granted Miles superhuman strength, speed, and the ability to alter his body's electron attraction to crawl along any surface.
And you can't forget that classic spider sense, an internal warning system that lets Miles know about incoming threats so he can react ahead of time. He even got an upgrade that acts like a radar, letting him see through stuff.
But no spider person is complete without their web shooters. Given to him by Peter's Aunt May, these webs have all sorts of applications between swinging, grabbing, restraining, projectiling, and being made into constructs.
Not having Peter around to show him the ropes made things a lot tougher though. And between mishaps with wall crawling and web slinging, Miles got off to a rocky start.
Like any typical teenager, he had a lot of self-doubt. Could he keep up in school? What was the right way to talk to girls?
And how could he live up to being Spider-Man when one of the villains he had to face turned out to be his very own uncle? Makes family dinner so awkward. All that, trying to kill you.
The Prowler was cold though, I can't lie.
Leg up on every other superhero known to man.
Living parents. Better yet, loving parents. They supported him when things got tough, even if they didn't always see eye to eye. And thanks to them, he learned that the best way to be Spider-Man wasn't to do it like Peter, but to do it his own way.
And it helped that this particular spider had a bit more to its bite than Peter's. Miles has a variety of unique powers, like invisibility and venom.
Not like Tom Hardy, though it is weird to give your main power the same name as one of your bad guys. Come on, Spidey.
Yeah, it is a little bit odd, but you know, it is what it is.
Bioelectric energy and weaponize it, which is especially effective against individuals with genetic mutations.
Punching, absorbing, blasting, mega blasting. Hell, he can even make electric constructs out of this stuff, like biowebbing and a damn sword. Jeez,
yeah.
What kind of spider was this?
It's not entirely science fiction. Studies have shown that certain species of spiders, such as the Linnaeus, have a process known as ballooning. By spinning a thread of their silk, they can use the Earth's natural electric fields to fly, traveling up to hundreds of miles. No pun intended.
Well, whatever
Did not
kind
know
of fight
that.
it was, it gave Miles the edge he needed to find his worth as Spider-Man.
Miles can dodge gunshots, missiles, and lightning bolts. He survived all sorts of beatings, including a building exploding on top of him.
Oh geez, Spidey could lift buildings and dodge light speed attacks, and Miles is more than a match for him.
Like the time he absorbed the energy of a bomb that was going to vaporize Harlem. a blast that would have equaled 15 million tons of TNT.
He's gotten kudos from a ton of older heroes too, becoming a member of the New Ultimates and the Avengers. He even helped form the Champions, a team of teenage superheroes with the likes of Miss Marvel and Ironheart.
The king of Wakanda himself even suited him up with some Wakandan vibranium.
The same stuff as T'Challa's own suit. This super rare and tough metal can absorb kinetic energy and vibrational impacts.
It helps to regulate Miles's venom powers too, allowing him to better control his electrical output.
The vibranium is thinner to better fit his acrobatic fighting style, but it can still shake off most fatal attacks like they're nothing. This stuff is tough enough that Deadpool's swords have shattered against it.
Though it's not as durable as, say, Captain America's shield.
Right, because it's a thinner layer. Yeah.
Don't be near it when it does, or you'll end up like the Falcon here when he used his vibranium wings to stop a bomb that was gonna blow up New York City. That's twice now. Does any other city have to deal with this stuff?
But when vibranium and spider powers still aren't enough...
I mean, hey. It's a comic book world. It's more than likely going to take place in New York. I don't know what it is about New York that, you know, comic book worlds just love so much, but if you're taking place in a comic book world, it's more than likely going to happen in New York. You know, it is what it is. You got to accept it.
Can push his electrical output into overdrive,
giving him huge boosts in strength and speed and making him a whole lot zappier. It's your classic shonen power-up, and he knows it too. He's a bit of a weeb and has a thing for mimicking some favorites.
Despite his initial insecurities, Miles has more than managed to live up to his predecessor. No longer standing in the shadow, but side by side.
Literally, his universe got blown up and he was sent to the main 616 timeline along with his family. And now it's him and Peter as a pair of Spider Bros.
He's even become one of the big players of the Spider-Verse, teaming up with all sorts of other spider variants to defend the multiverse.
There's anime spider people, robot spider people, dinosaur spider people, spider people, a whole lot of them.
He won an Oscar.
Getting the job done. Miles even led him into battle against the Inheritors, a bunch of interdimensional vampire assholes.
This is what Stan Lee was proudest of in his favorite superhero. Regardless of who they were, any sort of person could wear the mask and do the right thing. For so long as we stay true to ourselves and help others in our own unique ways, then anyone can be a hero.
Dope.
But what is a hero? To the citizens of Japan, there was no one more synonymous with the word than their symbol of peace. All Might.
The big numero uno. With a smile on his face, he could save anyone and win any fight, no matter what.
Or so it seemed. After a battle with his arch nemesis All For One, All Might was grievously injured. His time as a beacon of hope was coming to an end, and he would need to find someone to pass on the torch.
In this world, most human beings evolved to have their own individual superpowers, or quirks, but not everyone is lucky enough to get one. Like this kid named Izuku Midoriya, or as local bully Bakugo like to call him,
Deku.
Good for nothing Deku.
Izuku wanted to save people just like All Might, but even his idol told him that he would have to give up on his dreams.
Forever the beta male in the shadow of Bakugo.
Romantic interest. Oh, you know, one of them. That's funny.
And lend his rival a helping hand, proving himself worthy of All Might's torch.
And so after months of training, Izuku was granted All Might's quirk, One for All. This power allows him to boost his strength to incredible heights, using it for smashing attacks named after specific US locales, and a soccer club.
Or football, as they call it.
Straight punches, spikes, even finger flicks. One for All is the ultimate in strength-enhancing quirks.
The first time he used it, Izuku destroyed this giant robot in a single blow.
I mean, I will say this. As much as I am rooting for Miles to win, from what I can tell, when it comes to just like pure destructive impact on the surface, at least, because I don't like dive into like different comic books and stuff like that, but on the surface it seems like Deku has more power than Miles, because like for example, you just comparing one of their punches, like in the Insomniac games, you see Miles use his like a venom punch, and it does like a lot of damage. But compared to, say, Deku punching this gigantic robot here, it seems like Deku might have more like destructive power compared to Miles. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to imply anything, but yeah, I just wanted to like put that out there. I could be wrong, because again, I don't know really anything about these characters, like in terms of like deep diving into comic book lore, because I have not done that. A lot of what I know about Miles is from games and the movies, and a little bit of comic book knowledge just from like my own research. But Deku, pretty much anything that I know about him is like really based on the anime specifically. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And if I am, feel free to correct me.
An accident.
But it seems like Deku has more destructive power than
One for
Miles
All's power was
on the
so great
surface.
that the recoil would shatter Izuku's limbs when he used it. In the hands of an improper vessel, One for All could cause their body to explode, so Izuku would need to continuously train to master it at his Hero Academia.
Say that again.
UA High.
Here he'd be inspired by girly pop Uraraka to turn his zero name into his hero name, becoming the Deku who always does his best.
Something that he may have taken too far.
When it came to saving people, Do Your Best here had a bad habit
Yeah,
of
that
putting
was
others
wild.
way before himself. Sure, everyone else was okay, but he'd be good for nothing all over again if he got himself paralyzed.
So to cut down on his hospital bill, he developed full cowling. Instead of using his quirk in short bursts, he would continuously spread the energy across his body at low percentages, using it for acrobatics inspired by Bakugo's explosive movements.
And with that new thinking came a new fighting style, shoot style. To use a stronger
Just
limb
using
and be
his
less
feet.
likely to break, Deku took a page from Nerd Emoji Ida's book and switched to focusing on kicks to pack in more of a punch. Yeah.
And that power would be needed. After a climactic battle with All for One, All Might would be forced into retirement, just a few months into Deku's training. Now it was his turn to face this demon lord.
But he didn't have to do it alone. Just as All Might had passed One for All onto Deku, it had been passed onto All Might by his master, and onto her by her master. One for All was a power that was built upon for generations.
The quirks of the previous
Like
users
the
of One for All
Avatar.
manifested in Deku, along with their spirits or vestiges, to help him in his battle against All for One.
Black Whip gives him energy tendrils to swing around and restrain foes. They can also brace his arms and manually control his muscles if he can't move.
Float allows him to soar high into the sky. By combining it with controlled blasts of pressurized air, he can effectively fly.
Danger Sense detects incoming threats and unease, letting Deku react in advance. Though it's mostly like an alarm bell and doesn't tell him specifics like location or number of threats. Familiar?
Smokescreen lets him create a smokescreen, but he can use it at full blast to create a bigger smokescreen.
Yeah.
That's swell and all, but the real meat is in Fajin. After building up kinetic energy within his body, Deku can unleash it for bursts of strength and speed.
Like
He's
the
combined it with Black Whip to create
vibranium.
the powerful
Okay.
black chain binding
Wow,
attack,
this is a
and can
lot
use it in
more of an
conjunction with
even
full
fight
cowling
than
to
I
achieve
realized.
100%, equaling All Might's full level of power without any
They have like the
He once used
perfect
it to
counters for
outspeed a bullet
everything.
shot by Lady Nagant. Of course,
Because you got Miles with his webs that allow him to swing and fly. Meanwhile, Deku, he could do the same thing with Black Whip, and if he wanted to, he could just fly using float and then like pressurized air. Or like to go even faster, he could use that kinetic ability for an even bigger like takeoff. So like they got the flying down equally. And again with the webs, you can restrain people, right? Black Whip can do the same thing. Then you got they both basically have a spidey sense, danger detection ability. This fight, and the suit that Miles has, the vibranium, builds up kinetic energy. He can release it. Deku, he has an ability where he can absorb kinetic energy and then release it. This fight is truly a lot more even than I realized. Holy crap. They are like going bang for bang, counter for counter. This is crazy.
Use it in conjunction with full cowling to
They
achieve
are
a full
a lot more similar
equaling
than
All
I
Might's
thought.
full level of power without any recoil.
He once used it to outspeed a bullet shot by Lady Nagant, a former hero turned villain who has a sniper rifle for
That's just gonna make this fight even more
I
fun.
think I'm in love.
Nagant's bullet once crossed a distance of around 215 kilometers within a fraction of a second. That's 6,700 times
Oh my
faster than
God.
sound. And Deku was moving so fast, the bullet seemed like it was standing still.
And he can go even faster than that with his final quirk, Gear Shift.
By touching a target, he can control its speed without abiding by the laws of inertia. He can slow down foes to leave them frozen in the air, or move so fast he can punch multiple times in an instant.
Even All For One's own protege Shigaraki couldn't track him, and this is a dude who can catch light speed laser beams.
It does have a time limit though. After 5 minutes of continuous use, Deku's body will catch up to his speed, suffocating him as his cells become unable to take in oxygen.
Not nearly
Okay.
as bad as One For All was suffocating him, though. He's been doing all of this shit in just the 10th grade. I hadn't even figured out you can breathe through your nose at that point.
The pressure of having to save his friends, the country, the entire world weighed on Deku. So he left UA to fight this war alone.
Vigilante
But alone was never
Deku,
where
yeah.
Deku fought best. Having
I
come
really
from
enjoyed
nothing,
that
his
mini
admiration
arc.
for his peers gave him strength, just as they admired his strength and desire to help others. Even Bakugo came around to him.
So when it came time to finally put that demon lord back in hell, his classmates, teachers, mom, friends, enemy, and everyone else supported and cheered him on. Because that was the greatest threat to All For One's reign all along.
Not All Might, not Deku, not even One For All itself. Just people helping each other out. And with their help, Deku defeated All For One once and for all, blowing a hole in this huge storm and parting the skies for a brighter future.
Though he did lose his quirk and have to retire from hero work.
Yeah,
Giving
I did
a regular
hear
9
about
to
this.
5 as a teacher, passing on his knowledge to the next generation, just like every user of One For All before him.
Some might say he peaked in high school. If not for the sick new armor he eventually got to go back to kicking butt, he even made it all the way back near the top of the rankings.
All with the help of his friends. For
So he got like a Iron Man suit type of deal? Because if so, I'm not even gonna lie, that honestly would have been a better premise to me for My Hero at the start. Like, you have this kid whose number one goal in life is to be a hero, just like all of his idols, right? Like all these different heroes that he's been taking notes on, like the kids that he grew up with, they all want to become heroes too, right? And then they all have quirks, they all have powers. Meanwhile, he's the only one who doesn't. And given how smart he is, I definitely feel like he could have made himself an Iron Man suit in some way. Yet I feel like we could have maybe done something like that. I mean, where he would get like the supplies or money for that, I don't know. Maybe he like joins a gang or something. I don't know. But I honestly feel like it would have been a better premise for the show if he became like a self-made hero. That's just my opinion. Don't attack me, but I definitely feel like that would have been a better premise instead of him just being literally handed everything. He was handed what is basically the number one power in the world. Like, as much as I like My Hero, I gotta say, on that, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about that because he was just, like, he had to train and work hard to learn how to control it, but it would basically be the same as Superman coming up to you and just handing you every single ability that he has. Okay. How does that remotely make you essentially a hero that is like, oh, okay, I worked really hard to get like this, instead of I was literally just handed everything. You know, like, do you see what I'm saying? I'm probably not explaining it that well, but like my point is, I think it would have been better if Deku was more of a self-made hero compared to how he got to where he was quite literally handed everything, you know? That's just my opinion, though.
As long as we keep reaching out our hands to help those in need, everyone can be a hero.
Because it would have been dope if he had just like actually made himself a suit.
Hello, it's me.
That would have been so clean, bro. I would have loved that.
Deathbattle.gg.
Made himself Iron Man.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Yep, I'm locking it in. I'm still with Miles on this. I could be wrong and he could lose, but I gotta go with my boy Miles.
Yo! No more man and less spider.
Yo, this beat.
Whoa, I was looking for you. Care to show me what you can do?
All right, new guy. First lesson, don't watch the mouth. Watch the hands.
Now watch mine, Delaware! Smash!
Let's try that one more time. Guess who?
I can't use my full power here. Gotta take this somewhere else. Oh, gross!
You got skills, man. I like that. Oh, mierda.
Really old New York City.
I moved us to an abandoned part of the city so we can go all out!
Fair.
Because I always do my best!
I'm really vibing with this song. And this animation is sick. It's so comic book like.
If I'm gonna do my best, I gotta do my own thing.
Sarah was right! Your quirk is amazing!
Amazing is my buddy. They call me the ultimate Spider-Man.
No, the one thing that I actually do really appreciate about this fight is that neither one of them is coming into this with villainous intent. They're literally just like, hey, you seem kind of cool. I've heard about what you can do. You wanna spar for a bit? This should be fun. They're being so friendly about it. I like this a lot.
Sarah was right! Your quirk is amazing!
Amazing is my buddy. They call me the ultimate Spider-Man.
His suit has shock absorption, not nullification. So, it's got a limit.
Psycho. Death Bang!
Go beyond! Ultra!
Oh, nice. Oh, damn, he got blacked out.
Spider-Man, you really are the ultimate.
KO! Vaya con Dios, Aranya Hoven.
Let's start by talking about their superpowers.
So just to be clear, they are saying that Deku won this? That's a little unclear. What? Hold on. What happened here? I think I misunderstood that. What happened here? Okay, so Miles, like, I'm assuming that the suit reached its kinetic limit. He releases a massive venom blast, right? And we don't see him. Deku gets flown back, but then he stands back. So, okay, so are we saying that Miles took himself out with the blast?
Spider-Man, you really are the ultimate.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what we're saying. Miles took himself out.
KO! Vaya con Dios, Aranya Hoven.
Let's start by talking about their superpowers.
Yeah, that was a fun fight.
Unsurprisingly, given the not-so-subtle inspiration for Deku's quirks, though they did have some edges over the other.
The spider sense gave Miles more insight on his surroundings and threats than danger sense, which has been worked around before.
This meant Miles' invisibility was harder for danger sense to detect when he wasn't attacking, while the spider sense's radar system allowed him to find Deku in a smokescreen. But Izuku's other quirks granted him advantages of his own.
Float was a lot more mobile than Webs,
Yeah.
and Bajin gave a bigger boost in strength than Venom did. Since both had some advantages and disadvantages, we're gonna call superpowers a tie.
Next up, speed. Scaling to Peter, Miles could dodge light speed attacks, which actually outpaced Izuku moving faster than that sniper bullet. Fortunately for Deku though, that wasn't his best.
Thanks to Gear Shift, Deku could speed himself up to match Miles the same way he did to the light-catching Shigaraki. Even worse for Spidey, one touch from Gear Shift could freeze him in place and make dodging totally impossible. So speed goes to
okay.
Deku.
As for
Fair.
skill, Deku was incredibly talented at analyzing an opponent's abilities and coming up with strategies on the fly.
But Miles' powers and fighting style gave Deku few immediate openings.
Deku may have received more formal training at UA, but he was ultimately only active in hero work for a little under a year.
Meanwhile, Miles has been handling everything from neighborhood crooks to multiverse-ending gods for significantly longer.
It's close, but with his greater experience, skill goes to Miles, and that means the biggest deciding factor is raw strength.
And that was no contest.
Yeah,
Miles absorbing the
Deku.
energy of that bomb was nothing to scoff at, but overwhelming power is what One for All is all about.
When Deku defeated All for One, the energy needed to part those clouds with his punch had a yield of 362 billion tons of TNT, smashing the bomb Miles absorbed out of the water.
But it wasn't as simple as that. Miles is wearing a vibranium suit after all, so the question wasn't necessarily who was stronger, it was if
How
Miles'
much
suit was
damage
tough enough
could
to
he take?
continuously
Yeah.
absorb Deku's blows.
When the Falcon protected New York from that city-destroying blast, it had a yield of 546 megatons. Impressive, but Deku defeating All for
But
One
not
was still over
gigas,
600
yeah.
times stronger than
Okay,
vibranium
fair
flames.
enough.
And Deku did that with One for All's embers, not the full package.
And remember, the vibranium in Miles' suit was much thinner than what Falcon and Black Panther
Yeah.
had, making it unlikely it could absorb as strong of a blast.
It's there to provide more protection, sure, but there was no way it could survive all of what Deku could
Yeah,
dish out.
fair
In
enough.
this superpower battle, it was Izuku's overwhelming speed and immense strength that made him the winning hero.
And the morales of the story is...
The winner is Deku.
Next time
Nah, that was
on
fun.
Death Battle.
Alright, who's next? Is that Godzilla? No. Yes. Godzilla and Hulk.
Subscribe
Oh,
and
damn.
join as a member to see more Death Battle.
Godzilla and Hulk? I hope they don't mean MCU Hulk, because I could tell you right now who's winning that. Yeah, this was a lot of fun though. I did not realize just how evenly matched these two were. It's like you go in thinking that you know both characters, but then when you get the breakdown the way that Death Battle does it, you realize, huh, wow. Like, you know, you're just, it's like an eye-opening experience. But yeah, Miles lost. It is what it is. He put up a really good fight, though. He definitely put up a really good fight. And I am not mad at these results. I enjoyed myself watching this death battle. It was great. And I can't wait for the next one. Hulk versus Godzilla. That one's going to be... Oh, that's going to be cataclysmic. It really is. But that's going to be it for me. If you guys enjoyed my reaction to this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next video. See ya.